Hello. If you've clicked on this video, then I'm guessing you're looking for the answer to that $1 million question, how do I stop binge eating? Well, here's the good news, you are in the right place because I'm Emily Hall, the binge eating coach, and I work with women all of the time on this subject. Women who have suffered for absolutely decades to overcome this problem, but with a few simple mindset shifts that I'm going to talk you through today, they learn how to have a happy, healthy relationship with food for good. I'm going to turn everything that you've ever learned about your food issue right on its head, and I'm also going to give you some really practical tips that you can start to do from today that are going to help you gain control around food. But even more than that, do you know what? You're not even going to think about it anymore. And this is how I overcame my own food addiction. I was so addicted to eating sweets, cakes, chocolate, you name it. I would just think about food 24/7. You know, even when I was eating one meal, I would be thinking about the next. And it wasn't even just the thinking about food that was the problem. It was also with overeating. I was feeling guilt, I was feeling shame, I was feeling self-loathing. And when we eat with those feelings, we feel terrible afterwards. And then so we go on this binge restrict dieting cycle for what feels like forever, and we feel like we can't get off it. But diets, they don't fix the problem. Diets, they look at the symptoms, they don't look at the cause. What is it that is really driving your behaviour? Eating in an uncontrollable way is always an emotional response. And there'll be a number of different emotions that you've got going on for you, which I'm going to talk about in another video. But for now, what you need to understand is that this is why diets and slimming clubs don't work, because they don't look at the emotions that are going on for you. They just look at the symptoms. And they're also built on shame and deprivation. And when we eat with shame and deprivation and we feel bad, you will always go to food to feel better. And so that cycle continues. Up until now, you might have even thought that you are just someone who really likes food. But I promise you that isn't the case. That is your mind lying to you, and it is one of the reasons that you stay stuck. Think about this. No one gets up in the morning and thinks to themselves, do you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to eat 10 packets of biscuits, I'm going to scoff them down, I'm going to feel really sick afterwards, and then I'm going to hate myself even more. You know, no one does that. Okay, so let's assume that we've talked about that emotion side a bit more, and it is such a meaty subject that I am going to dedicate a series of videos to it. So look out for those, please do. But for now, let's assume that we've talked about it. So next, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can start to do from today to get food freedom. And I promise you, it is possible. All of my clients get it, and you can absolutely have it for sure. Number 1, you are going to ditch the diet. Now, this might send you into complete overdrive when I say that. It's like, ditch the diet, but that's all I've ever known. But how has it been working for you so far? How successful has it been, honestly? Okay, so we are going to ditch the diet. Yes, you might eat exactly what you want in the beginning, but with a diet, we restrict. And we can only do that for so long because it's the mind that craves that unhealthy food. It isn't your body. So we restrict. We say to our mind, no. And then we just end up falling off the wagon and eating even more than we would have done if we hadn't been on the diet in the first place. Number 2, you're going to give yourself permission to eat. And also permission to enjoy your food. So again, this might feel a bit scary. You're like, what? But I'm just so used to dieting and not giving myself permission. And I shouldn't be eating this and I shouldn't be eating that. No, let's take that off the table. When we eat and we tell ourselves we shouldn't have this, we shouldn't have that, we eat with guilt, we eat with shame, we try and get it all shoved in before anybody notices. And actually what happens is you don't actually taste the food. It takes 20 minutes for the food to reach your stomach. So when we're shoving it in really quick, very often we don't know we're full, and then we shove in even more, and then we become overfull. So if you see some cake, chocolate, crisps, whatever, and you think to yourself, I really fancy that, then give yourself permission to eat it and bloody well enjoy it. If you're gonna eat it, allow yourself to just be in that moment, enjoy that food, and leave it there. Leads us nicely onto number 3. Is that a girl guide? It looks like a bit of a girl guide thing, isn't it? Anyway, number 3 is you're going to stop beating yourself up. So if you've had the food, you've eaten it, do not beat yourself up afterwards. There's no point. There really isn't any point. It's not going to stop you from repeating the same patterns of behaviour. In fact, it's just going to make the patterns of behaviour more likely to repeat themselves. If you beat yourself up, if you give yourself all of that pain, the mind has to move us away from pain towards pleasure. It will go to food to feel better. You know, the thing is, you've eaten that food. There's nothing you can do about it. It's gone into your body. So don't beat yourself up. Just accept it, take it in. I've eaten that. I've enjoyed it. If you've listened to number 2, I'll leave it there and I'll just move on with my day. It makes a massive, massive difference, I promise. Now, some of the things I talk about might seem a little bit crazy, a little bit off the wall, but that is really just because of where you're at with your food journey. You've probably tried diet after diet, you've given the slimming clubs go after go, and yet you still feel powerless over food. It's like it controls every waking moment, right? But it doesn't have to stay that way. Honestly, when we start to look at things in a completely different way, that is when the magic happens. But in the meantime, ditch the diet, enjoy your food, stop beating yourself up. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go off and make some more videos about the emotional side of things. I'm going to go much, much deeper into that, so look out for that video. The emotional side of overeating, binge eating, stress eating, whatever you want to call it, whatever label you want to put on it, I'm going to go away, make a video and talk about that. But let me know how you got on with this video. Please, please, please do post in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. It's super helpful for me to know the content that you're enjoying so I can produce more of it. But for now, bye.